All right, we're going to get started with another blog post that I've done. And this one was kind of special to me as well because I get that question a lot. Like, hey, Adam, how do I develop a portfolio? I mean, I don't have any clients. How do I get started? Do I offer really low prices on my jobs? Like, no, stop what you're doing. So let's go through this, okay? This is developing a portfolio from nothing to build work experience. And before I start reading this to you, I'd like to say that when you go through college or you're helping friends out and you're creating things, those belong in your portfolio. So my years of going through graphic design school and visual communications for overall like corporate branding and stuff, like I have all those files and they're in my portfolio in case I ever have to show somebody. So you can do the same thing. All right, let's get into the reading this post. The old adage of you have to give a little to get a little is what comes to mind with the portfolio development process. There are a good number of people on freelancing sites such as Upworks and Odesk that are trying to learn how to nab that first job. Those are the people that come well prepared with a reasonably filled out portfolio along with the sales pitch. The downside is it's all pitch with no portfolio, website, job history, or much else beyond a well-crafted copy and paste text linking to projects they have done. You have to have a leap of faith if you're going to go with someone that fits this profile. Now I'm going to stop here from the post because I want to expand a little bit here. This is the good thing about actually listening to it or watching it on YouTube. You're going to get a little bit more than just the post. In this case, what I'm describing here is you put a job up and then within like 30 seconds or a minute later, you start getting proposals. And those proposals, they seem so intricate and well done. And they always start, I saw every requirement that you have, sir. I can completely do the job. Okay, when you see those, they're spam. They're just copy and paste. And they just hope that somebody will bite. So I think of it like a lure. All right, let's get back into it. If the above description feels like a shortcoming that you're having, or you have been passed over several times, then this could be what's holding you back. I get so many messages from people trying to get that first job, and it can be heartbreaking. They are willing to work for next to nothing, just for good feedback. And no one should have to beg for work. This is the world we live in, though. Alright, let's cover the employer view. This is one of the important ones here, so out of two. The employer view. As an employer, I look at several things such as portfolio, location, profile, ratings, feedbacks, along with anything else that's available. It's this employer view that I hope to discuss so that you get hired easier and faster. Since I am the type of person that likes to take chances, I tend to hire more folks without any jobs in their portfolio. I always want to write amazing feedback and 5 stars to get them started. They have no idea that I feel this way though, and that's the one thing I can't show. You have to trust the employer as well and view my feedback and history to see if I am going to benefit you as well. I never want to take advantage of someone in these exchanges, and I hope you don't either if you are on the employer side of things. All of my research comes at a cost, and sometimes it comes with horrible results. My point is that I know you are good at working online, and you might be an amazing coder or designer that I want on my team. But this is about you coming to the table with a portfolio. I want you to finish this post and start a portfolio or build on top of your already existing one. You always have time to churn out another piece that might get you a job. I have been let down or left with terrible unfinished projects that had to be redone, and I have that to own. High risk can equal high rewards, but often it's more of a trial by fire and hoping that the Hail Mary pass comes through in the last seconds. I am older now and hopefully wiser, so these chances I took a decade ago are gone. I now scrub portfolios. I interview potential hires and get that warm fuzzy. I study people, and if you are an employer that takes high risk, then maybe this will help you slow down and verify. I have thrown thousands of dollars to freelancers, and about 75% of it was great. The other 25% that wasn't could have been avoided if I had done my research. I will say, being an employer, it's interesting because of you meet so many different characters, and I think for a while, if you can't tell, I'm veering off from the reading for a second, but I hate to say this because I hired a lot from India in the beginning because India was an emerging, economy, and they really wanted to get into the web business, and India is huge, and America was doing well, and this is the early, probably mid 2000s, and I hired a lot of people from India, and unfortunately, those are the ones that kind of bit me because they were not as good as they told me that they were. They missed deadlines. They didn't actually know how to do some of the things that I asked them to do. And so today, after knowing all the information, all those experiences, I really only hire from a few places. I will not hire anybody from India. And it's nothing against them. I guess in a sort of way it kind of is. But I don't mean it to be insulting. It's just I've already been burnt enough from India that I don't want to take any more chances. If you want to, you go right ahead. It's your money. All right, let me get back into it. This time we're going to talk about the freelancer view. People who have no portfolio or jobs previously to the one I am hiring them for usually have to take the very minimum in salary. On the flip side, I have to expect that it's not going to go perfectly because I don't truly know the skill of who I'm hiring without their past feedback. It's a trade-off. But when things go right on both sides, a business relationship develops that can be almost impossible to find. Admittedly, in over 15 years of doing this, I only have 2 to 3 freelancers I have worked with for years. Maybe it's 1 out of 200 or so. If you find that, then it changes a lot of my advice. And what I mean by that, here again, little veer, right? What I mean by that is when you find that freelancer that's amazing at what you hired them for, don't let them go. Don't share them. You share them a little bit, but not much. I have some really great freelancers on my team for audio, for graphics, for almost everything. So it's really a huge thing to have on your team. I can't say that enough. All right, back to the post. We have had to address that there are not a lot of people like me out there that are willing to hire someone just to give them a shot. Some developers just don't have the cushion to risk on jobs that go south. There are ways to increase the likelihood of steady employment by taking the time you could spend applying to jobs and use it to develop your portfolio. It's so easy to do if you focus and become creative without the monetary incentive involved. I go back to the days I was in college working on my design degree and churned out project after project for the grades. I was paying to go to school and producing pieces that I could use in my portfolio. Do you see what I'm getting at? I think you might benefit from one of the following ideas if you're not creative or you want your time to benefit someone without the exchange of money. Find a local business and offer them your services for free to build your portfolio out. Reach out to a nonprofit charity and ask them to allow you to develop something for them. On freelancing sites, bid on jobs for the bare minimum and build feedback and your portfolio. Start creating your own stuff and build your Git or Behance accounts if you are a designer, and also DeviantArt. Create tutorials on YouTube and show off your knowledge to potential clients or students. Sal Khan did this, and look where it got him. If you don't know, he runs Khan Academy. Go to a church or small business and ask them is there anything they need and donate your time to them. Search around the internet and find problems people are having and build an app plugin or an add-on to solve it. Sometimes you don't need to be hired just to gain the experience needed. Search for problems that need solutions and just do them for free. Yes, I'm aware that you're giving away your talent isn't easy in all cases, but we all start somewhere. After you gain the feedback, the portfolio, and contacts, you'll have a much greater success in people taking you serious and hiring you. In some cases, you might even get hired for a higher salary if they see you have the right pieces in your portfolio. Of course, you could have been doing these types of things over the last few months, but it's better late than never. Start finding things to put your name on. The right proposal. Let's say that you think your portfolio is just fine. One other factor that could be holding you back is your proposals. I tend to choose the ones that stick out. You know, the unique ones that took the time to actually read the job and say, this is how I would approach your job. You wouldn't believe how many freelancers just copy and paste, hoping one will reply. If this is you, then stop it. Every proposal should be unique to the job being applied for. Being clear in your solution to the job is also highly effective, along with reasonable timelines. There is something to be said about reasonable timelines as well. Most employers actually don't know what a job involves most of the time. They simply want their WordPress to be fixed. I know plenty of those guys and gals, so I want to cover that as another consideration. Things that catch my eye when combing through proposals for my job are 1. Place of origin. I prefer hiring people from the US, Philippines, Vietnam, Mexico, Romania, and a few other places. It's just worked out better for me in the past. Not much you can do here. Reasonable process. People who are friendly, make clear that they have read my post, and give me an idea of what they will do to solve my issues. Go beyond. A big plus for me is if they are willing to go the extra mile and improve upon my goal and give me an idea of how they will get the job done better. Timeliness. Responsive messages are always appreciated. Communication. A quick rundown on how you communicate, your working hours, your strengths, and a one-sentence pitch on why I should choose you tends to seal the deal. Solid profile. I look for a picture of who I am working with, along with as much information about you and your expertise. It feels more complete. Portfolio. Yes, just like this post is all about. You have to have a portfolio that matches my taste and shows me who you are through your work. The bottom line is that you can't go looking for a job without some kind of proof that you are good at what you do. An employer needs to know what they are bargaining for and what you are capable of delivering to expectations. If you can do all those things I mentioned above, then you will nail a large majority of your proposals. Build the right portfolio. The last thing I want to go through before we wrap up is what you should be adding to your portfolio. It should also be noted that it's okay to have separate portfolios for different jobs. If you are primarily a logo designer, I would expect a reasonable amount of logos in your portfolio to cover the span of your professional career. I understand there are NDAs in the field as well, so prepare to do fun projects on your own. Create fake companies and then create logos for them. You can apply this to all specialties you can think of. Everything from a writer to an ad designer. You should be able to produce several pieces to prove to an employer that you have what it takes. I caution anyone with tons of work that amasses over the course of years to break your talents down. Put them in separate portfolios and have them ready for different jobs. The one thing that frustrates me in this area is when I want to hire someone to design a landing page and all they can show me is banner ads or logos and blog posts on their website. I want to see landing pages, and so do other employers, so please consider this. All your work is important to organize it, like your sock drawer, and more manageable to digest when someone is trying to see the area the job requires. Last words. Take your time and build your portfolio as much as you can. Make up companies or projects that are just there to show off your skills. There are a lot of people like me looking for the right person to hire. Please, if nothing else, be personable. Get those jobs, be proud of your work, and kill it every time. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. I want this to be a discussion worth having. Thanks for checking out the video. I appreciate it. It supports me and gives me encouragement to put out more videos. If you want to support me, by all means, you can subscribe. I'm always on Twitter, and I'm usually all over the internet to include Medium and Quora. So until the next video, thank you again. I greatly appreciate it.